Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Cod and Two Minds podcast.
Yeah, big baby.
What's up? What's up?
Not too much, man. Oh well, it's looks like it's crisis time already,
I mean, once again, thank God this happened right before the deadline, right?
I was just getting ready to go there, Fitty. No surprises, right? We're due a good ass whooping late August, heading into the transfer market closing. It's almost like, we throw away the first 3 games of the season every year because Wenger doesn't have the team, constructed right as far as players coming in, players leaving. When we do get players in, there's not enough time to build them into the system or the way we play. And it's just a big joke. But after we lost 8-2 to Man United, what happened like the next day? We brought Mertesacker, Arteta, fucking Squillaci, all kind of people. So what I'm saying is get ready for a whole bunch of, get ready for Arsenal to buy a bunch of sorry motherfuckers who really ain't gonna do shit for you.
A bunch of inconsequential names, and I guarantee you, not one of them in the bunch will be a center back. Not one.
No. And how long have me and you been screaming this? How long?
It's so obvious where we are weaker than more than half the league. More than half the league. Our defense is just befuddling. It's just how could you be? But honesty, man, they get put in these positions from the style of play, and if our midfielders are not willing to track back hard, really hard, then it's the defenders are just left at their mercy. Like a team like Liverpool is going to slice them up.
And if one of your defensive minded midfielders is going to be pushing way up the pitch, playing like a striker at certain points in the game, and the only backup to that is a slow Xhaka running around trying to catch up with people or break up play, then it's a recipe for disaster. That's exactly what happened today at Anfield. We lost 4-0, and we made a Liverpool team. Jordan Henderson, people rate him. I don't really rate him. He bugs me. But not only does he bug me, I think he's kind of slow and kind of awkward. But we made even him and Emre Can, Wijnaldum, we made them look like Barcelona today. The way they just kind of controlled the midfield, broke up play, kind of like the way Busquets used to. It was just ridiculous. As far as on a simple note, just the amount of effort that Liverpool brought to the table compared to us, and this is something else. We as Arsenal fans, we're always repeating ourselves because that's another thing as far as, what are you always saying? Not having your team mentally prepared to play. You know what I mean?
It's just ridiculous. And, the part about like the midfielders not tracking back, the team is in such a state, man, that they just, here's a statement that sums up the game today. The best player on the pitch for Arsenal was Peter Cech, and he gave up 4 goals. Right. And that's the best player we had on the pitch today.
Right. Anywhere. Right, exactly. But that sums it up. But to me, what really sums it up is the lineup. You know what I mean? Look, big game, going to Anfield. It's it's a rival to that fourth place spot or that Champions League spot. They just played midweek. We've had the whole week off to prepare. We already know what they're gonna do to us, and he doesn't play Lacazette, and he doesn't play Blockhead, Kolasinac.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He doesn't even play him.
Yeah,
but instead he chooses to play Bellerin over there. It's like, to me, that sums it up. Why are you not playing Lacazette?
Why? Hey,
seriously.
Like one of my sayings I've been saying, we've been saying for a long time is, I just can't stand a whole lot of dumb shit.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
This is a club record signing. This is the guy you spent more money on than anybody ever on the club.
Right.
And you don't start him in the biggest game of the year so far.
When he's getting ready to go on international break for like 2 weeks, I think it is. It's the big one because football season getting ready to start, American football.
Right.
So it's the 2-week one. So, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, what are you saving him for? If that was the case, if he was tired, you know what I mean? What are you saving him for? You're not going to have him. And if anything, you want him all tired when he goes to play for France. So he won't play that much and get hurt like all Arsenal players do. But anyway, yeah, so I just thought from the beginning, the lineup was just real shady and just real on some Wenger dumb shit as far as why you going to play Bellerin out of position when you got, I call him Charlie Blockhead, but Kolasinac on the bench, who's been in good form. Two of the players that have been in the best form for you so far in this pitiful season, you would have to kind of say would be Lacazette and Kolasinac as far as just like, enthusiasm and excitement, but he doesn't play him in this huge game. And it didn't cost us because mentally we weren't prepared to play and Wenger got out coached, tactically it was disgusting at certain points just watching how easy they were just schooling us. You know what I mean? It was just like, ugh, look at this shit.
Yeah. And that space that they just kept penetrating into where they got behind our midfielders in front of the strikers was so huge. It was so big at times, like, and I mean, I know I keep harping on it, but I mean, the only reason why is because there's several times when I just said to myself, like, why is that gap so open? And literally I'm watching Arsenal players, kind of coming back, but not really like, charging. I even saw Ox, by the way, with the way the lineup was or whatever and stuff, I think he's doing that for Ox's like preference, like they prefer to have him on that right side, because of his ability to get by the D and then swing balls in with his good right foot. But they used him awful today. Like we played scared from the get-go, not before they scored a goal. We were playing scared.
Definitely.
They were not letting Ox do his thing. Like, why weren't you sending Ox up the pitch?
We did absolutely nothing going forward in the final third. And what was such a trip is that their keeper, whoever that fool is, he looks just as shaky as Mignolet. You know what I mean?
My God.
We look like we could have maybe kind of got with him a little bit because he was shaky as hell. But we created no chances. It just looked like a team that there was no chemistry. They didn't know how to play with each other. As soon as you put Alexis into the team, it just seemed like it was just like, whoa, what's going on? Because today, this was the worst we've looked in the final third as far as just like fluency or chemistry. You know what I mean? It was just really disjointed. They didn't really know what was going on, and we didn't create anything. And I think a lot of that had to do with tactics. And one more thing? I'm sorry. What was so killing about that was the fact that Liverpool usually presses 100 times worse than they did. It's just like they just picked They pinned us into a little corner, then they came after us, took the ball, got us on a counter, and it was over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was pretty much their game plan.
I think Klopp, when he's got guys like Mane on the pitch that are so athletic, like I think he likes his lineup against three in the back. He's sure that Mane is going to get by the wing back, which now puts a center back that's slower and awkward in a position to try to stop him. And Mane will just eat that guy up.
He'll eat him up. And now what they've done in signing Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
I mean, that little funky bastard was just running over there, just tearing us up. But, now what you have is on both sides, you got two little quick, extremely quick players that can just terrorize if you got a wing back, or if you got, not even a wing back, somebody like us. We got somebody kind of bullshitting like he plays wing back, like an ox,
Right.
You put somebody like that, he's not used to playing in that position up against one of those two, and, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, and those two being so aggressive on the wings, and then, I've tried for 2 years to just not like Firmino, but the kid is dynamite, man.
I get it. I get it now.
He is Ozil with a little bit more effort.
Right.
I'm not willing to say necessarily he is better than Ozil, but I mean he's sure on that trajectory. He's gonna, he can be.
Right. Well, I hear what you're saying. They share a similar style. It doesn't mean Firmino is technically just as good as Ozil. It just means they kind of just their fluency in the way they play, and they're like two steps ahead of everybody. Especially Firmino around the box. Like, he just kind of gets it. He's real smooth, kind of like Berbatov in a weird kind of way, with more effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I get it. I finally understand what he's all about, and just his work rate, and just kind of, I don't know. He just keeps everybody busy and kind of just lets, Mane and Salah just go nuts pretty much. So
sure. Well, one of the things that I had noted was Sadio Mane is an absolute killer against Arsenal. He's too much, man. We don't have, maybe it goes along with the philosophy that Klopp's teams play with, but he's just too much, man. We don't have anybody that can really handle him.
Well, we have to change the way we play tactically. You know what I mean? We can't let ourselves, the whoever's playing, right wing back or left wing back or whatever side he's on, Mane, then, you're going to have to stay back, man. You can't really join the offense as far as going forward. You have to stay back. Ramsey, you have to stay back and help in this little situation here. We have enough people, in forward positions who can create things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not everybody has to get forward all the time. So it's just, come on, it's basic common sense shit. Everybody, all Arsenal fans talk about it. The media talks about it. You got, people who don't even really watch soccer, kind of giggle and chuckle when I say I'm an Arsenal fan and shit. You know what I mean? So the reputation is getting worse and worse and worse as far as being a laughing stock. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just always go off the rails.
Well, I mean, it's like beating your head on a wall. How can you just keep, how could this result be so predictable? Well, yeah, it's not necessarily I could have came in here and said we're going to lose 4-0, but I definitely did think going into this game, we've got a handful on, coming up here.
Exactly.
Liverpool loves to just slice and dice and just get behind us and counterattack on Arsenal. They just love all that,
It's a bad matchup now. It used to be a few years back before Klopp. It used to be a fixture that I would kind of look forward to. They were just one of those teams that couldn't get over the hump on us, And then ever since he's been there, they just beat the shit out of us. Kind of like, what they would do when he was at Borussia Dortmund. It's just a bad matchup for us because, we're not going to make any adjustments to counter that style. Like, most normal coaches and teams would do. They would be like, okay, we got to figure out a way to fucking counter this, even if it means changing what we do. Oh my gosh.
Hey, you know what though? I mean, I know this might sound facetious, but I'm just going to the one thing I will give Wenger credit today about, a couple things happened that just before it, I was like, you know what? I think, for some reason, I think we need to just put Cock in here. I was mad. I was mad about the way we were tracking back and not helping out the defenders.
Right.
And I was just like, at least I know if you instruct him, if you tell Cock that this is what I want you to do and, run, man, and get back and help those guys, then I figured he was the right guy. Yeah. But then, and I know like you've mentioned Ramsey a couple times, but it's Xhaka, dude. Xhaka was the one who had to come out of here. Too many athletes, too many fast guys on the pitch. He was overwhelmed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he might have been overwhelmed, but I was going to give Wenger credit on he finally made an early sub that was correct. He took Ramsey off at halftime. Xhaka is slow as dog shit. And he don't really do much, but Ramsey was really fucking up. They even, your boy, Robbie Earl on the the NBC Sports, he highlighted that fool way in their box as they were scoring one of their goals, and it's just like
I know,
come on. But yeah, he took Ramsey and that dude Wijnaldum, he broke his ankles twice. Ramsey was falling down, getting tricked by him and shit. Ramsey looked bad. I'm sorry.
I get it. I mean, my note at the end of the game was Xhaka once again worst player on the pitch. He got dominated. He got dominated, plain and simple,
by Henderson. I can't stand Henderson.
If you go quickly through the lineup, both wingers, Salah and Mane, too fast for him. Emre Can, too big for him. I saw him just push him out of the way a few times.
Yeah.
You go around to Firmino, can't fuck with him. He can't. And this is the guy that we have to rely on to be a defender. He has to defend. And all he does is want to get up and try to make these beautiful long passes. And I also noticed that when we're passing the ball around and we're trying to find holes and penetrate, when the ball goes to Xhaka, it slows down. Because he always puts it. I mean, I want him to pick passes out like he does, but if it means that every time you get the ball, you're going to stop, look up, try to find a runner, hold the ball, and then make the next pass on, you're slowing things down, man. We need to be quicker,
Definitely.
I'm getting really passionate about this motherfucker Xhaka, but it's mostly because he's not an athlete. He's just a bad athlete.
No, you're right. I mean, you can't play them both together because they're both not really athletes as far as speed and quickness. Xhaka is awful at breaking up plays. Anytime we lose the ball, when Ramsey's way out of position and we lose the ball, and there's that initial pass where they break out and Xhaka has a chance to foul or do something, he never does it, and the teams we played, they're able to initiate their counters so quickly because he doesn't do what Gilberto Silva used to do and just do the professional foul because he's not athletically quick enough to get to the person to foul. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just that was a beautiful pass, but come on. What the fuck are you doing? But anyway. Go ahead.
Personally, we haven't had a good CDM since Alexander Song. So,
yeah. Yeah, he got good at the end until he thought he was fucking Magic Johnson and shit. He started thinking he could just throw it passes.
He was, but I mean, it did get to the point where everything was just too pathetic on our attack, and it was like Song had to join in to help, like But let's see, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Basically, I was just like, anybody that, not to pit everybody against each other, but the Vinger out people, like, I mean, do you understand them now? Not saying that to you, but just out into the world, like,
oh yeah,
like the people that are Vinger out. Do you understand, like, the thought and the pit in my stomach, and then immediately the announcing crew back in the studio, they all said it, like, what do you do if you're a fan? He just signed a new 2-year contract, and I just watched a team that looks exactly like the same pathetic team from 6 years ago. They're still the same team.
Yeah, it's this was his big opportunity to prove that he was going to do a little things different. And it's not even like really stuff on the pitch. It's like having your team prepared at the start of the season. Like I said, man, we've been throwing away like the first 3 games of the season. What I mean by that is not getting maximum points. You know what I mean? We've already lost twice out of 3 games. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
yep.
I mean, come on.
Yep. Man City scored in the 97th minute to get their 3 points this week.
And it's because he's not prepared. He doesn't have the players he trusts to play enough to play in any situation. The team is just not complete. But anyway, we can go on and on. And
why he's experimenting with position.
The left back.
Yeah, when he moving guys around and here and there and stuff. But I personally believe Kolasinac could play CDM. I think he's faster than any of those guys that play at that position. He is physical, and
or just buy one. That's what we do too. I get it. He looks like he can play anywhere. How about we just go buy an athletic one? Just buy one suitable to your demands.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, here's my point though about it is if it's at the loss that Kolasinac is going to start not getting much time because Bellerin's playing the left wing, then I'm not a fan of that decision, and I want Kolasinac on the pitch somewhere. He needs to be on the pitch.
He's a bolt of lightning, a force of nature. He's one of those players. You know what I mean? When he gets going, you just kind of sit back and watch. At least that's what I've seen. Yeah. I know Wenger's seen it too. And it's like, why are you bullshitting with Bellerin? I mean, why is it so important that he's out there? Did you see the last goal? When he tried to clear the ball and it got by him? Yep. You know what I mean? Just stop it. Just stop it. And we got to get fools like Theo and Gibbs, Debussy. We can't even clear out the team. And this guy's talking about he doesn't want a director of football. He doesn't need one. Why do I need one? You need one so you can sell dead weight.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Hey, Theo. You just brought his name up. So, shouldn't he be watching? You know what? He's too old to be watching tape. You ain't got it. Get out of here. So, but, when we were talking about Mane and Salah, why, I'm not saying Theo has to be as strong as Salah, but, how come he hasn't developed a way to use motherfuckers? He's that fast. He is that fast.
I don't know if anybody's as fast as that little funky bastard.
And if you touch him, he feels like a brick wall. You're like, God damn, man.
You just know when he runs by you and you get a whiff, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna let that little bastard score. Fuck that. Anyway, dude. I mean, what are we talking about?
I didn't want to touch him. I'm just saying. I didn't want to touch him.
Touching Wenger's hands, dude. Come on, dude. You're going to wipe your nose with your hand. Like, really? Like, that kills me more than anything. I don't fuck the tactics, fuck losing. Like, why are you wiping your nose with your hand, dude? Like, why? Anyway, we're going to go on that note.
He gets so mad.
Would you rather shake hands with Wenger or Jurgen Lowe?
No way, dude. I'm not doing shit with Lowe. I don't even want to be in the same room with him.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah. The German coach. The old German coach, right?
No, he's the German coach now who digs in his ass and his nuts and stuff, and then he smells it.
and always checks the aroma. Are you hearing this?
Hey,
he rubs his hands all over his nuts and asshole and the taint. Don't forget the taint.
Nobody says
it. Then he puts it right in his nose. He just like, what was that? Molly Shannon. What was that chick that she just smell her fingers?
But nobody ever says anything about it, dude. You know what I
mean? Right.
Like he's just a great coach and shit. But like if I was able to talk to him, I'd be like, dude, why were you digging all in your booty hole and smelling it? Anyway, we're gonna go on that note. Thanks for tuning in. Caught in Two Minds. Drop us an email. CITMpodcast@gmail.com. Hit me up on Twitter @eMarshall, EMARSHO. Thanks for all the support. Go to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and review. And hit us up on SoundCloud too. Fitty, what's up?
Hey, so you guys can find me on Twitter @GoonerRush. Quick shout out. I want to make sure @Tony AFC66 knows that I shot a 88 yesterday, Tony. 88. And another shout out to Black Scorpion. BLAK Scorpion 3. BLAK Scorpion 3.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the show. All feedback is much appreciated. If you would like to contact the show, drop us an email at CITMpodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter @CITMpodcast, @GoonerRush, and @eMarshall. That's EMARSHO. The music in this podcast has been provided by Statics. If you like what you hear, be sure to check them out at staticsentertainment.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram @StaticsMusic. That's STATX Music. Peace.